Welcome friends! Although my main purpose of playing games was to have fun and engaging experiences, I have a crazed part of my psyche with a digitised death wish that often craves gaming experiences that could be charitably described as subpar. While I was pursuing the sludge pit where the feculent Drek-like Rise of the Robots and Frog of the Great Quest live, I am to trip over the rotting maggot-filled corpse of Mohawk and Headphone Jack for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Mo Dork and Headphone Cack was released in 1996 and was developed by Solid Software and published by THQ. If it sounds like I'm being disparaging towards the game so early in the review, that's because I am. I possess an impressive level of dispassionate seething loathing for this game bordering on the psychotic. Make no mistake, this game will make your eyeballs projectile vomit during the sorrowful few minutes you can stand to play it. Seeing as Mohawk and Headphone Jack is thankfully a forgotten entity to most gamers, I'll sum up the whole premise in a single sentence. This game is a trippy, nausea-inducing Sonic the Hedgehog clone that spins more than a tumble dryer full of marbles, fidget spinners and ballerinas. However, for the sake of a tissue-thin pretense of balance with my opinion of this game, we can come to the game's sole creditable element. The music is generally excellent with a good selection of rock and funk tracks that could be changed by locating the large CDs within a level and by using the 90s stereo interface on the pause menu. More on this later. Ignoring this auditory failsafe for a moment, let's turn our attention to the rest of the elements that make up this crusty melange of total bollocks. Once upon a time, Nintendo made a revolutionary leap with gaming graphics in the form of Mode 7. This fantastic innovation allowed programmers to produce a faux 3D world by giving large 2D background layers the ability to be rotated and scaled at will. This mode was used to fantastic effect in top tier Super Nintendo games like Pilot Wings. However, our friends at Solid Software looked upon Mode 7 as the apotheosis of human innovation, and in a frenzied fit of trouser-soiling excitement, the interactive cretinous filth they later produced was more akin to Mode 7! featuring Mohawk and Headphone Jack. Solid Software weren't satisfied with the sole creation of a nauseating background that feels like you're in the cockpit of a plane in the throes of a death spiral during gameplay. They also decided to gift the protagonist the functionality of a gyroscope to add further nausea to this digitised hellscape. The result of this stupefyingly crap design choice forced the game to spin landscapes to coincide with the player's moves, so that your Mohawk fool is always tied to a flat surface, with the game spinning like a busted centrifuge to compensate. To compound this folly, larger platforms have their own gravity effect on Mohawk, so get ready for a camera shift of 180 degrees in less than half a second. They even added the option to use the L and R buttons to rotate the screen yet further because that's exactly what we need, more bloody spinning. These horrible ingredients came together to form an ungodly mess of pottage that was guaranteed to fly back up the way it came following just a few minutes of this rancid gameplay experience. To say that this game was influenced by, or was an homage to Sonic the Hedgehog, is the understatement of the millennium, akin to promoting a burglar as an inventory displacement operative. This is where my incredulity meter rises from teeth-scraping frothy mania to apoplectic rage, as we see the Sonic the Hedgehog experience being copied over and promptly buggered up at every turn. Gone are the cheerful and bright levels, only to be replaced with every sepia tone under the sun, with the entire game being set in underground caves. Any essence of level design has been annihilated in favour of 14 catacombs of seemingly randomised nonsense to traverse. If you're lucky enough to pick up 100 smaller CDs on your pain-riddled travels, or fat rings as I insist on calling them, an exit point will be marked on your map. However, you're more likely to find a fish and chip shop in the city of Atlantis than you are finding this mythical exit. And the lunacy continues. Sonic's spin dash and jumping mechanics are copied almost verbatim, but have the added pleasure of being constantly undermined by the flippy spinny bollocks referenced earlier. There are some power-ups that allow your character to morph into different shapes, with the singular result of further lousing up any semblance of control you pretended to have over your green quill freak. Sonic's bonus stages also have their own rancid variant, with the sole intent being that they only exist to make you feel queasy even sooner. If we slice away the paddy guff that 99% of the story represents, we have a tale that sees Mohawk, a good morph, fighting against General Headslot, a bad morph. After you defeat mostly pointless loofah-based enemies and some truly stupid bosses, you need to utilise your quilled creature's spin dash attack against General Headslot, as he is ensconced within his mechanical attack machine. At this point, they're not even trying to hide the plagiarism, are they? Another question that might have come to mind after reading the game's perennially idiotic title is, who or what is Headphone Jack? Well, if you and a friend decide that the best use of your downtime is to take turns being physically sick or bored stiff in equal measure, you can select a 2-player game from the hideous tie-dye influenced title screen that has the potential of burning a hole into the TV situated in your neighbour's living room. At last, we get to see the unbeknownst visage of the creature they call Headphone Jack. And it's a pink quill version of Mohawk. Oh, for God's sake. To match this level of non-existent effort, here's my offering of a green Sonic the Hedgehog that I will call Bubonic the Wretch Frog. If we bring together each of the horrors this game represents, including an overall 90s tood aesthetic that has aged about as well as the vomit this game aims to physically produce, we have Mohawk and Headphone Jack, a game of unparalleled awfulness that is only rivaled by its ending. For our efforts, we get a torn up "you win" screen that offers visuals mimicking the effect of downing a cocktail of hardcore drugs, along with a note that a shadowy figure was seen on the moon after the defeat of General Headslot, mooting a sequel that thankfully had the decency of never existing. But after the unabashed misery of completing the game, we are reminded that we should find all the vortexes on offer for a suggested prize. Probably the addition of your name to your government's urgent depopulation list for carrying out such an unhinged and deranged action. Until next time, goodbye friends.